First off, as we get further away from the Archegos debacle, I think more and more investors will be willing to consider owning this one. It was manipulated. People don't like that. They left it alone. But that's now in the past. And, look, in the aftermath of the meltdown, a lot of people put ViacomCBS on their do not touch list for the remainder of 2021. But it's not 2021 anymore. Second, similarly, the stock got hit late last year, in large part because of tax loss selling. Investors love to take unrealized losses in order to offset their tax bills at the end of the year, not the end of the year anymore. Third, and most important, ever since the Fed pivoted and started talking about getting more aggressive in fighting inflation, Wall Street's preferences have changed. High growth, high multiple stocks that are losing money are out of style. Instead, we like stocks that are backed by meaningful earnings, solid dividends, especially if they're cheap. And ViacomCBS is cheap under any standard that you use. Of course, we don't buy cheap stocks simply for the sake of their cheapness. Buy! That's how you get caught in a value trap. But if the business is getting better, that's a different story. And when it comes to ViacomCBS, the business has gotten a lot better. It's just that hardly anyone noticed because the stock was still tainted by that Archegos disaster. For 3 quarters in a row, these guys have beaten Wall Street's expectations for both sales and earnings. We're not talking blowout numbers, but they've been consistently better than expected. While we won't get the fourth quarter results until late next month, I'm optimistic. Why? Because in the fourth quarter, ViacomCBS had a full quarter of football. CBS has the lucrative rights to the Southeast Conference on Saturdays, which is kind of like the NFL, frankly, if you ask me. And in the fall, then on Sundays, they've actually got the actual NFL, which is buoyed by fantasy football that forces you to watch boring blowouts until the end to see how your fantasy players do, so you don't turn the game off. In fact, you know that just today we learned that NFL viewership was up 10% versus last year? The best since 2015. Perhaps because so many states have launched online sports gambling, and we haven't even hit Texas, Florida, or California yet.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.